Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be the reveal for the AMT 1934 Ford pickup. This one I had a lot of fun with. I did some flames on it. Hopefully most of you saw the tutorial on that. All Createx paints on this one and clears. Like I said, a lot of fun with it. I used a few things from the parts box out of necessity. I probably could have just used everything from the kit and had it turn out just as nice and just as good, but I used a few parts box parts. So let me get things turned around and show you how it turned out. Really happy with it. Okay, so here is the AMT 1934 Ford pickup truck, the customizing kit. It has the option to build it as a service truck with a wrecker boom or any way you like, really. So I chose to do it this way as more of a rod, street rod. The paint is Createx, opaque black. And the flames were done with Lazy Modeler flame masks. These were made for actually the 32 Ford, but they fit perfectly on the 34. Most of them are interchangeable, that body style, 29, 32, 34. Okay, and they were done in Createx, pearl magenta, fading into Createx, pearl plum. I do have a tutorial out there. Most of you have probably seen it on how I did the flames. So check that out if you'd like to. I think it's a pretty good tutorial, pretty neat. I'm going to go ahead and put the hood back on because I forgot to. There we go. You can see the whole thing. I did break off the tabs for the lower part of the engine cover on the sides. I did not want those on, so I broke those off. Just sanded things down and painted them. Up there. I used, I'm going to say parts box wheels and tires and the center caps because I forgot what came in the box. I took the wheels and tires out of the box, or the tires at least out of the box, and I don't know what I did with them. So we're going to go ahead and call them parts box wheels and tires. I know the center caps are. I can't remember what kit they came from. I used the kit headlights. I just chopped off the ends that go into the insert into the fenders, and I carefully measured and drilled holes and used copper wire as pins to put them into place on the frame there, the front frame where the bumper should connect to. So I did that. What else did I do to this one? Oh, the taillights. Where did the taillights come from? I'm going to call those parts box taillights too. I think they may have came from the Revell 1948 Ford police coupe. 2-in-1 police coupe. I think they might have come from that. Or the Revell 32 Ford 5-window coupe. I don't know for sure. I can't remember. I just was opening boxes to see what I could use for taillights, and I found them, and can't remember where I found them. Typical of me. 1/8 inch aluminum tubing for the exhaust tip. I just couldn't leave the exhaust as it was. Just yeah, you know how the exhausts are on these kits. And we'll take a look underneath at the chassis, and you see all the front suspension pieces, the bottom half of the engine where the exhaust connects, everything from the kit. You can see I tried to keep it consistent with the bottom of the bed, the wood grain there, and everything else, and my 1/8 inch styrene, or not styrene, but aluminum tubing for the exhaust. So everything is kitted except for the exhaust tip. Just some detail painting and some painting there. And taking a look at the engine compartment, just a little bit of detail painting. The engine, you can't really see anything from this view here, so I'll move it to the side. And you can see how I did the wires, ran them into the tube, like I've seen on my Google search, from the heads into there. The green, the color is actually apple barrel English ivy green for the engine, is what I used. Now the tri-power setup, I used the intake from the kit, but I also cut and spliced on an intake from, I want to say it was the Revell 29 Ford Model A Roadster kit. And I spliced it, I cut it and sanded everything down, filed it down, and cut it together. And I used the carburetors and the air cleaner setup from that Roadster kit as well. I'll move it around to the other side. And you can see basically the same thing on the other side. The exhaust manifolds are molded in. So I just used number 11, back of a number 11 blade to scribe it and get a little bit of separation there. I don't know if you can really tell, but that's what I did. We'll move around to the cab. Not much in the cab at all. You see the steering wheel and the dashboard and the seats. Now the dashboard and the seats were done in apple barrel antique white. I wanted something to break it up to where it wasn't all black. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It looks pretty sinister sometimes, but I wanted something to break it up, lighten it up just a little bit. And the gauges were glued in from behind the open gauge pod there. I'll move it around to the driver's side real quick. You see the shifter and emergency brake lever, I want to say. But yeah, not much to the interior at all. Now I'm going to go around to the bed of the truck, show you how I did the bed. I just used various apple barrel paints. I used a tan, a light brown, and a dark brown to draw out the wood grain look. And I used Tamiya Panaline Accent Black very sparingly to brush on the black and to make it look a little bit darker and weathered. And for the slats in between there, I just hand brush painted Molitor Chrome. So that's how I did the wood grain for the bed. And also what I did was you get a bed cover with it. I like how my bed turned out, so I didn't use the bed cover, but I did go ahead and put some of the decals on it that you get on the kit and put it on the bed cover. And I'll pop it on there real quick to show you. I think it looks pretty neat. Let me pop my camera off the tripod for just a second and show you as it comes around what it looks like on the truck. So I think that looks pretty funny and pretty neat. But like I say, I like how things look. So no bed cover for most of the display and most of the pictures, just to show you what it looks like. This was pretty fun. You get a lot of parts Like I said, you can tell by the box art, you can make it a service truck with the boom, the wrecker boom, and all that kind of stuff. Gives you everything you need. A little piece of chain, plastic piece, everything. Lots of stuff. I chose to leave the fenders off, and the running boards, could have put them on, make it actually stock looking. All sorts of different things you can do to this one, but like I said, I chose fenderless and running boardless, make it more look like a street rod type of build. I did have a lot of fun with it. Like I said, there's a lot of parts, a lot of extra parts. You can do all sorts of different things to it. You got a complete separate custom engine. I didn't really want to use that. Didn't look like it was going to be too realistic to me. So I just chose to use the flathead and do the makeshift tri-power setup that I used. So that's probably going to do it on this one. I really love how it turned out. I really do. The opaque black laid on extremely smooth. The Createx high gloss clear sprayed on really nice and sanded down to a real nice shine. It's really hard to get a good black paint job, but I think I achieved it with the Createx paints. So thanks for watching Stumpy Grump Scale Speed Shop. Stay tuned for more content, including my next project unboxing coming up. I pretty much have it picked out. I just have to get started on it. So I'll bring that to you in probably a few days. Alrighty, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.